WLOS News.
All of our satellite yards throughout the county, the materials are full there, equipment there is operational, and we position equipment at those satellite yards to make us more responsive.
The body of former President George H.W. Bush lay in repose last night at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston. Angela Price says she just had a feeling she needed to be there.
I do feel that President Bush 41 set a great example for people, and the whole family set a great example. Just their love of one another and their respect for each other.
2 people are dead, several others injured after a semi-truck trailer collides head-on with a school bus in Illinois on Interstate 74 near Downs in the central part of the state. Dana Brown is a spokesperson for Normal West High School.
Social media spreads information very quickly, and our students began to gather here. So we brought in administrators and social emotional support.
A voter photo identification bill that won state house approval has been altered to try to improve absentee ballot security in North Carolina in light of fraud allegations in a congressional district, the 9th. The House version of legislation approved Wednesday details how a new constitutional amendment mandating photo ID to vote in person is carried out starting in mid-2019. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
The State Board of Elections confirmed on Wednesday that it has issued subpoenas to Mark Harris's campaign, Red Dome Group, and Jim Vickers' campaign as part of an ongoing investigation into election fraud in Bladen County. McVicker is the sheriff of Bladen County. An internal investigation of former CBS chief Les Moonves has turned up more evidence of sexual misconduct as well as lying and destruction of evidence, throwing into jeopardy his $120 million severance package. CBS News' Eureka Duncan has more on the investigation.
The Times reports that investigators found at least one CBS board member knew of the sexual misconduct allegations about Moonves before joining the board in 2007, and that last year, CBS's former head of communications learned of a sexual misconduct allegation against Moonves, but did not report it.
Daniel Green was convicted 25 years ago of murdering Michael Jordan's father. He has maintained his innocence and is now fighting for a retrial. There were proceedings on Wednesday in Lumberton. Earlier this week, Green said he would prove his innocence. Green's sister told ABC 11 she believes her brother.
It's taken so long. This has been a fight that's been going on for so long. And I just pray that Daniel will be coming home soon where he belongs.
Japan's self-defense forces searched the seas off southwestern Japan for 6 U.S. Marines after their aircraft collided during a training mission. Reporter Lucy Kraft is in Tokyo. She says U.S. military forces in Japan have been plagued by a series of accidents.
Japan-based U.S. military aircraft have been involved in 3 other accidents this year. These include U.S. Navy and Air Force fighters crashing near Okinawa and the crash of a Navy helicopter belonging to the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan. None of these accidents caused loss of life.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The final farewell today to former President George H.W. Bush. The public viewing ending now at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in his hometown of Houston, where his body lies in repose. ABC's Jim Ryan is there.
Just as was the case in the Capitol Rotunda, mourners have been filing past Mr. Bush's flag-draped casket for hours.
We are here to honor what a lot of us feel was a very, very good and a great president that the United States had.
The casket sits in the same spot where Barbara Bush lay in repose last April. This time the casket is surrounded by a military guard representing all 5 branches. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Houston.
A private funeral starts later this morning. ABC's TJ Parker says.
After this morning's funeral, the president will journey to his final resting place on a train whose engine is named for him, Bush 4141.
That train carrying the president's body to College Station, Texas, where he will be buried next to his wife, Barbara. 5 people are still missing after 2 U.S. Marine Corps jets ran into problems midair. ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz.
The midair mishap was in the middle of the night in cloudy skies 200 miles off the coast of Japan. Both aircraft ended up in the water, indicating a midair collision.
One is a fighter jet, the other a refueling plane. 2 people have been rescued. In Illinois, 2 adults are dead after a big rig slammed head-on into a school bus carrying a high school girls basketball team. Illinois State Trooper Tracy Littler.
The initial reports is that the semi-truck was traveling the wrong direction on the interstate and struck the school bus head-on.
Officials say all the students on the bus suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Stock futures all pointing toward a lower open again this morning. The markets closed yesterday for the National Day of Mourning. On Tuesday, the Dow closed down nearly 800 points. Fueled by uncertainty over the trade war truce between the U.S. and China. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
We are expecting a new look at jobs around the country this morning.
ADP postponed its monthly employment report to observe the National Day of Mourning for former President George H.W. Bush. It usually is released the Wednesday before the Labor Department's numbers come out. The payroll processor only measures hiring at private employers, but economists consider it a good indication of what to expect in the government's jobs numbers due out on Friday.
There are new warnings about climate change. Here's ABC's Linda Lopez.
After several years of little growth, the Global Carbon Project now finds that heat-trapping carbon dioxide emissions have jumped nearly 3% from just 2017 to 2018. The findings were announced at the UN Climate Summit in Poland, where world leaders have gathered to discuss putting the 2015 Paris Climate Accord into effect. Some scientists are calling this report a reality check and say the new jump in carbon emissions put some of the Paris Agreement's goals nearly out of reach. Linda Lopez, ABC News.
Round 2 of the Justice Department's fight to derail the merger of AT&T and Time Warner starts today. An appeals court will hear arguments over the ruling that allowed the merger to move forward in the first place. At that time, U.S. District Judge Richard Leon said the Justice Department had not come close to proving that the merger would suppress competition in the TV industry. Since the ruling, AT&T has raised prices for its DirecTV Now streaming service. This is ABC News.
Get ready to feel the difference of the new Tomorrow Hybrid mattress. Designed by the world's leading sleep experts at Serta Simmons Bedding, the Tomorrow Hybrid mattress combines the luxurious comfort of memory foam with the unrivaled support of individually wrapped coils. Sleep cooler with no motion transfer. Try the Tomorrow Hybrid mattress for a full year risk-free. For 15% off your total purchase, use promo code AWAKE5. TomorrowSleep.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Come on into Oakland Feed and Seed and guess how many kernels of corn are in the jar. Exact guess wins $500 gift certificate. Closest guess wins $150 gift certificate, and next closest win a $50 gift certificate. Winners will be notified December 21st. Only one entry per day in store only. Let Scott and his team help you with your do-it-yourself pest control questions. They have the supplies. Oakland Feed and Seed is your propane refill station with the best prices. Deer corn, corn on the cob, and deer apples on sale right now at Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road, Spindale.
Good Thursday morning. It is a chilly start to the day. Definitely make sure you've got your jacket, hat, scarf, and gloves before you head out the door today. High temperatures this afternoon only climb into the mid to upper 40s under partly cloudy skies today. Tonight we stay partly cloudy with low temperatures falling into the lower 30s, and by tomorrow highs climb back into the upper 40s to mid 50s with mostly sunny skies and the chance for a wintry mix increasing into the weekend. I'm Kat Campbell in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Well, the latest weather statement from the weather people, winter weather possibly across the Western Carolinas, they say confidence is increasing that a winter storm will develop this weekend across the region as low pressure tracks across the deep south and moves off the southeast coast on Sunday. The storm has the potential to produce a significant amount of snow across parts of western North Carolina, a significant amount of snow across upstate South Carolina, the northern upstate of South Carolina, and the mountains of northeast Georgia. Precipitation could begin as early as daybreak Saturday over southwest North Carolina and northeast Georgia, spreading northeast through the region. Conditions may deteriorate from southwest to northeast during Saturday afternoon and evening across the area north of Interstate 85. However, the precipitation is most likely to fall as snow across most of the mountains, with a heavy accumulation possibly Saturday night and Sunday. Snow amounts are still uncertain, but amounts in excess of 6 inches are possible across the mountains, foothills, and northwest Piedmont of North Carolina. The potential also exists for a corridor of significant ice accumulation across the area south of Interstate 85 Saturday night and Sunday morning. The wintry precipitation may persist across parts of the region throughout Monday. So they are anticipating it coming our way. How much is debatable at this point, but it definitely looks like they're saying it's coming. So just be prepared for it and get prepared for it now and not wait till Sunday morning to try to get prepared for it. Now we have these death announcements. Catherine Crawford Moore, age 90 of Forest City, died Thursday at her home. Memorial services will be announced at a later date by the Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory for Catherine Crawford Moore. Rosa Lee Walker, age 78 of Rutherfordton, died Sunday in Cherokee. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 today at McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services. The funeral service will be 2 o'clock today at McMahon's, with the Reverend Richard Bass officiating. Burial will be private. McMahon's Funeral Home serving the family of Rosa Lee Walker. Troy Moore, age 90 of Forest City, passed away Monday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The family will receive friends from 11 until 12:45 Friday at Caroline United Methodist Church. The funeral service will follow at 1 p.m. Burial will follow in the Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Troy Moore. Cromer Curtis, age 84 of Forest City, died Sunday at Atrium Health, Cleveland. The funeral service will be held 3 o'clock Friday in the Florence Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the Cool Springs Cemetery with military honors accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Visitation will be in the church narthex from 2 until 3 prior to the service. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Cromer Harold Curtis. James Donald Hunt, 82, passed away Friday at the Kitty Atkins Hospice Center in Goldsboro. A celebration of life will be held 2 o'clock Sunday at Community Baptist Church in LaGrange, North Carolina. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of James Douglas Hunt. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others as they become available can be heard this morning at 11:30 and then again at 5:10 this afternoon as part of the afternoon report right here on the most information for the Foothills. Community-minded, family-friendly WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Stay right here. We'll keep you updated on any new weather change that may develop. It's going to be cold.
Well, here's a shocker. Harvard student newspaper The Crimson just ran an editorial calling on Harvard to hire more conservative professors. A month ago, the same paper ran a poll showing that 83% of the Harvard faculty identified as liberal or very liberal. Only 1.6% said that they're conservative or very conservative. The Crimson said these statistics do not reflect America. Really? Yeah, the editors warn the lack of ideological diversity creates a perception that Harvard does not welcome conservatives. They say it's why many Americans distrust higher education. They also say that adding conservative professors would help challenge prevailing ideas on campus. The editors believe that's a good thing. So why is the Crimson swerving into common sense here? Well, maybe these editors were shocked at President Trump's election. Maybe they suddenly noticed the giant disconnect between the Ivy League and the rest of the country. It really doesn't matter why, because the people who actually run Harvard are 100% liberals, and they won't listen to a bunch of student editors. They may talk diversity, but they'll never embrace ideological diversity, especially if that means hiring conservative professors. Oh, maybe a token here or there, but on a mass basis, it isn't going to happen. I wish it would, but it won't.
Hey guys, how's your game going? If you know what I mean. A lot of you know me, but you may not know my name. I'm sildenafil, the active ingredient in that little blue pill, you know, that helps guys with ED. I'm really super excited to tell you I've moved into a generic pill that you can get at forhims.com. Gosh guys, everybody wants to perform their best, but not everyone could afford me. I mean, in that little blue pill. But now I can be yours at forhims.com. Hims connects you with licensed doctors who can prescribe me online, and then I get delivered right to your door. So easy. And get this, your first month is just $5 when you go to forhims.com/strong. $5 for a whole month of me? That should make every guy stand up and cheer. To get your first order for just $5, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/strong. That's forhims.com/strong. Get started today for just $5 at forhims.com/strong.
See website for full details. Not all services through the HIMS platform are available in all 50 states.
Over a half-century of family-friendly broadcasting.
This is WCAB AM 590 and the new 100.9 FM.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I feel like if I didn't have anyone to push me, I wouldn't even bother to do it. I got one milestone down the drain, and now I got to work on the next. I see the future is really bright for me. I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you go back and get it done. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
No one gets a diploma alone. You have more support than you realize. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Well, at Southern Carpet, they know how real life can be. Kids make a mess, dogs track in mud. That's why they carry floors that stand up to the day-to-day rituals. They carry floors like Tarkett Flooring. They have the widest range of flooring products that are both beautiful and resilient. And right now you can find out more about these fabulous flooring products at Southern Carpet in Forest City. Find some excellent pricing right now, too. You'll find the perfect floor to fit your home and your lifestyle and your budget. So hurry in and take advantage of these great deals and choose from the excellent selection of Tarkett. Only at Southern Carpet, 1512 West Main Street, Forest City. And visit them on the web at southerncarpet.net. And, by the way, they have an office for rent right beside of them there in that building, right beside them and Miracle-Ear. Check on that if you're looking for an office, nice office space. Call them at 245-0310.
During the Old West, few men were able to have law enforcement as a lifetime career.
Lawmen were either appointed by town councils or elected by the locals, and it wasn't unusual for a marshal to lose favor either for being too aggressive or not aggressive enough and get fired. Unemployed lawmen needed an income too, and since they were good with a gun, knew ways to break the law, and had no desire to work with their hands, they often got a job as a car dealer or engaged in a variety of crimes. Ben Thompson was one such man. He had developed a reputation of being a ruthless gunman, and he was proud of it too. On December 9, 1880, the town of Austin, Texas elected Ben Thompson as their marshal. But unlike most towns, Austin knew of his past, and they were proud of it. From the time Ben was elected town marshal, the crime rate dropped. The very sight of Ben walking down Main Street in his city marshal's uniform was enough to keep things peaceful. The town fathers overlooked his drinking sprees and his occasional shooting out the street lamps. But when he went to San Antonio and shot an old enemy, the tide started to turn against him. A trial declared the shooting self-defense, but Ben had to resign as marshal, and his drinking and violent nature made even working in a gambling house impossible. Ben Thompson's fiery nature was just more than they could handle. One editorial summed up their feelings. "He is a curse to Texas. What kind of meat is he eating?" You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Christmas in Rutherford County starts with a stop at the Recliner Center. With winter coming, you'll be spending more and more time indoors, so be comfortable and stylish with a new sofa, love seat, or an Ultra Comfort lift chair. And with company coming in for the holidays, what better time to purchase new Spring Air mattresses? You've heard us tell you doctors have said a good night's rest is important for good health, and Spring Air is dedicated to giving you the best in quality comfort and support. New merchandise is arriving daily. JD and Marie Shook want to thank you, their friends and loyal customers, for your business, thoughts, and prayers this past year. And they want to wish for all of you a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. Their hours are Wednesday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 2. That's the Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. And Merry Christmas from everybody at the Recliner Center.
Now at 18 minutes after 7 o'clock, we go to the phones. And right now we have Sheriff Chris Francis on the phone to give us an update from his department. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. Hope you're doing well this morning.
I am doing well. Listen, is there anything the Sheriff Department can do about our weather this weekend or anything? Can y'all control that?
Well, we can't control, but we can certainly give some good tips about staying warm, staying inside, and staying off the road.
Yeah.
If you'll take those tips, you'll be good.
Yeah, I know you got plenty of those, and certainly on the road, it's very dangerous out there.
No doubt.
What's on the report today, Sheriff?
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 129 calls for service. There have been 15 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 184. Among those arrested, Kinley Jane Connor, a 24-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with possession of stolen motor vehicle, received a $5,000 unsecured bond. Leslie Iridan Santiago Cruz, 17-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with possession of marijuana, received a $500 secured bond. Shelby Danielle McKinney, 24-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with assault and battery and received a $500 secured bond. Dreama Knight Falou, 40-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with interfere with the utility and received a $1,000 unsecured bond. Leslie Claudette Scruggs, 43-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $2,000 secured bond. Kenneth Robert Hughes, 42-year-old male of Spindale, was charged with failure to appear, received a $500 secured bond. Keely Page Hamby, 50-year-old female of Union Mills, was charged with 5 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,500 secured bond. Ronald Adam Scoggins, 38-year-old male, was charged with trespass and received a $500 secured bond. Ronnie Dale Pearson, 44-year-old male of Tryon, was charged on a fugitive warrant out of South Carolina and is being held on a $50,000 secured bond. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering larceny on Mays Road in Forest City where a Philips 65-inch TV valued at $800 was taken, as well as an Amazon Fire Stick valued at $45. We have a larceny of medication, Walker driving for our city, prescription medications were taken in this incident. We have a break and enter and larceny on Henson Road in Forest City where a 55-inch Element TV back $250 was taken, a silver Dell laptop, as well as 7 $100 bills and 2 pair of Oakley sunglasses valued at $150 each. We also had a misdemeanor larceny on Arley Drive in Rutherford, where several Amazon packages were stolen from the mailbox over a period of time. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
You know, talking about Amazon, it bothers me that these FedEx, this UPS, they put the packages right at your front door, and when there's nobody home, and it's just open target for folks to walk by and steal them. I don't know why they couldn't do a better job of that.
It certainly is. Luckily, in this particular case, we were able to recover some of those yesterday. Still working on the charges on that, but it is frustrating, and it's a lot of mail stolen in the Shiloh area over the last 2 months, and we were able to recover a lot of that off of at a residence off Stacy Road. So it's still under investigation, but I can tell you that some of these packages that report off of Arley were recovered there, and we believe we have the suspects who stole them all, but still very frustrating. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah. All right, Sheriff, thanks so very much for this report, and be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sheriff Chris Francis reporting in this morning, and the Daily Courier is reporting that the former head of Trinity Christian School, who embezzled $238,000 in school fund, receives prison sentence. Tiffany Walker appeared before Superior Court Judge Tommy Davis Wednesday in the Rutherford County Courthouse after pleading guilty in October to 69 counts of embezzlement and 68 counts of obtaining property by false pretense. She received 5 consecutive sentences of 13 to 25 months, the first of which will be actively served in incarceration. The 4 remaining sentences will be suspended, and Walker will be put on probation for 5 years beginning on the day she is released. Now here is Candy with the 911 Communications Center report. Good morning, Candy.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 385 911 and administrative calls. EMS had 34. Rescue had 16. Under law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office had 129. Park City 62. Lake Lure 4. Rutherford 25. Findale 42. Under fire calls, had a structure fire. Bostic, Park City, and Hudlow responded to. Cherry Mountain had a motor vehicle accident. Park City had a motor vehicle accident. Park City also had a gas leak, and Sandy Mush had a brush fire, and that was all we had.
Thanks, Candy. Have a great day over there.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. 23 minutes after 7 o'clock this morning. If you want to give somebody a really nice present for the holidays, which will be long-lasting for them, if they need hearing equipment, talk to them about Miracle Ear. Maybe make an appointment for them and say, I love you, and I want you to be brought back into the communications, so let's go to Miracle Ear, have a free hearing test, and then help them make arrangements to find what's best for them. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers around the world say there's no better respected, well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Ear. And we're blessed that we have one right here close by, in Forest City, right there on 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. Over in Shelby, it's 1506 East Dixon Boulevard. We're close by. Miracle Ear could be the answer to bringing your friend back into the communications of the real world. Don't let them fade off because they can't communicate. They can't hear. Don't let them fade off. Find a way to bring them back in. Maybe a nice Christmas present. Miracle Ear. That phone number is 368-4126, 368-4126 for that free hearing test. Here's Ruby Taylor now with the Danieltown SDO report. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report today?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. And on the birthday calendar, I've got Sarah Fulton, Griffin Stamey, Brittany Putman, and Asher McGill having birthdays. And Mr. and Miss Mike Webb is having an anniversary, and hope all these people have a nice day. Signs are in the thighs today and tomorrow. So that's all I got, Jim.
You still got a few Raggedy Andies and Raggedy Anns for sale?
I have.
Good. I hope
I've got a little set and a big set.
Good. Well, I hope you sell them all before Christmas.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Ruby. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ruby Hand makes those. If you need a gift like a Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy, give Ruby a call. 25 now past 7.
It is so easy to keep your car running clean when you visit RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash. The RS Speedy Lube can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids, vacuum out the car, pull next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers. Then pull next door to the RS Speedy Lube Automatic Car Wash. Make your car feel clean all under and all over. It's possible at RS Service Center and Speedy Lube Car Wash, Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. Heading up toward Rumling Ball now this morning on this Thursday morning at 7:26. Steve, good morning. How are you?
Snow Mageddon headquarters. Can I help you?
Do you have an extra snow shovel I can borrow?
I'll be using mine pretty frequently. It looks like again, I mentioned this yesterday. The forecast is becoming more certain. If people want to keep up that live in this area, just not real involved. We'll be doing a lot of social media on the security Facebook page, so I'll keep up with the activities and help folks get along. We're going to just be involved on Sunday. I'll be here, and we'll just do what needs to be done. And the forecast is not pretty.
What are you hearing and reading about the depth of the snowfall?
Yeah, I keep looking at the Weather Channel, the breakdown day to day, and evening to evening, and also WLS last night. So they're predicting upwards 10 to 20 inches in our region. And
shut your mouth.
Yeah, I know. And then again, it's just a little bit of warmer air creeps up a little bit higher.
You could change all of that.
Yeah, then we get the ice.
Yeah.
So if it creeps up a little bit, we want it to creep up a lot. We don't want the ice.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, so we'll hope for that, and I'd rather a foot of snow than a quarter inch of ice.
Oh boy.
But we got a lot of salt, boy. We our guys are ready. We're gonna have people on the scene here.
Good.
Our scrapers will be working all night. I hope they're listening. So yeah, we're good. We're good there. I think we're on top of it.
What you're seeing and reading is starting Saturday night into all day Sunday. Is that what you're reading and seeing?
Yeah, that's what we're reading, and who knows? A little bit Monday morning. So I'll be here from Saturday through Monday. So
good.
We'll just we'll handle it.
Good.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
What you're there for, right?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
And I hope I get a bunch of days off after this all clears out.
Well, maybe somebody beforehand will bring you a bunch of homemade brownies or something so you can munch on while you're working.
Well, we're going to get fed today at the annual Christmas luncheon for the employees and the companies that work for us, with us, and together to make this whole operation work. So it's a big thank you, and give them a little nutrition for the work that they're going to be doing this weekend.
Listen, Steve, you have a great day, and we'll check in with you guys again tomorrow and keep posted on what's going on.
Okay, we'll be here, sir.
Thanks, Steve.
See you, bye.
Bye-bye. That's Rumling Ball, looking over things and making sure everything's safe and sound up there. 29 now past 7.
Health insurance is complicated, and with healthcare reform on the way, it's not getting any simpler. If you've got questions, we've got agents. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent can walk you through the changes and offer you the right healthcare plan with the right benefits for you. Healthcare may be changing, but our superior service isn't. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, Get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Here's Bob Hodge now. He's overlooking things over in the Mount Vernon community for us with the fire district and all surrounding areas. Bob, good morning. How are you?
Oh, it done just fine on this frosty morning over here.
Well, Steve wouldn't let me borrow one of his snow shovels. Can I borrow a snow shovel from you?
Do what?
Can I borrow a snow shovel from you?
Oh, snow shovel. Yeah. Well, I'll let you borrow it if you'll come and shovel for me.
That's a fair deal.
Yeah, let's trade around a little bit there. But, yeah, look like, according to the weather, we might get some there. I'm going to blame it on Lou there. I believe she's been doing the snow dance too much there.
She needs to cut that out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get on to her there. But, well, I hope it ain't like it was in '93 there when we was out of power for about a week over here. So, but look like right now we're going to get some snow. Going to get a lot of it, it looks like. So, unless things changes, so I guess we need to all get prepared for it. So, everything, but.
We'll have to send a word to the bread people to make extra loaves of bread this week.
Oh, the grocery stores are probably done sold out there. Bread and milk and all that. So there'll be a lot out today and tomorrow, I know. So, but anyhow, maybe it won't be too bad there. But look like it is. We're going to get a lot of snow out of it. And Jim, up here with the fire department during the night, we answered one medical call. That's about it so far with the fire department. Maybe it stayed pretty quiet today, and we'll get out here and gather up another stick of firewood. So
I believe we need to.
That's right. And you take care and have a good day.
Thanks, Bob. I hope you do too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing. Well, the good news is, those of you who enjoy those kind of things, and most of us enjoy it, we're just not able to do it anymore, is ride down the hill on the sled. Well, got word this morning that Washburn Store has plenty of snow sleds for you. So there you go. Get them early now. Go get them now, today, because they'll sell out before you know it. And you can't get over that when it snowed knee-deep to Jesse Scruggs. So go get those snow sleds now and all the other things, warm gloves and the hats, and get you some things to warm yourself up. Go ahead and load your pockets up with some Christmas candy while you're there. It's a fun place to shop, and they're warm over there, and they got snow sleds at Washburn Store between Boston and Sunshine. We can always depend on the Washburn folks having sleds for us at Christmas time and when the first snow comes. And here it is already between Boston and Sunshine on the Boston Sunshine Highway. And not too far down the road from Washburn Store, Boston Sunshine Highway, we'll find Drop-In Family Grocery Store. And Audrey is there to tell us all about the good food back there. Audrey, how you doing this morning?
I'm all right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You going to cook extra biscuits in case it snows?
Yes, sir, we sure are. I tell you what. And we also got a good sale going right now. They've changed it up for the month of December. You can get a sausage and egg or a bacon and egg or two of the same. You know, it's 2 for $4 right now on the bacon and egg and the sausage and egg. So, you know, that's really great. And at lunchtime today and through the afternoon, they're going to be running a sale on their chicken. You can get 1 thigh, 3 wedges, and a roll in a 16-ounce drink for $2.99.
Wow, that's a deal.
Yes, sir, it is. And we'd just like to encourage everybody to stop by.
And I can vouch for the fact that chicken is outstanding.
Yes, sir, it is really good.
Yeah, I would also advise, I know you have a lot of propane, or I'd advise folks to go ahead and load up on propane if they happen not to have any, because you don't know about power and electrics and those kind of things. But if you got a propane grill, you can always do some cooking and stay a little warm with that. So you got plenty of propane, don't you?
Yes, sir. They just came and filled it out for us this week, so we're completely full and ready.
Good deal. Listen, you stay warm over there, and I hope things go well for you. Hope you don't slide around too much, and we'll see you next time.
All right, Jim. Have a good day.
You too, Audrey. Bye-bye.
All right.
It's Audrey Allman there, the store manager at Drop-In Family Grocery there at Bostic. Catty Corner there from the post office. You can't miss them. They always got good food back there. It's 36 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we're going to our next phone call right after this.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697.
I failed to mention a while ago when I was over visiting with Washburn Store, they also have ice melt in stock. So that's probably going to come in handy also during this weekend. We're going to get some ice probably and some snow. Hopefully it's all snow, but you might need to have some of that ice melt just in case. They've got plenty of that. And those sleds, they come in all sizes. Right now we're heading up toward Union Mills. See what the weather is up there this morning. Brenda Kelly, good morning.
Good morning. It's cold. That's all I can say, cold.
Holy, what are you about? Let me see if I can guess. We're 23. What are you, about 18 on the front porch?
Exactly, 18.
Yeah.
You win the prize.
I get to go to the front of the line.
That's exactly right. But we hope everybody's just having a good day today and staying warm. Just be careful. It's cold and it's bad weather's coming in, and you make sure you got plenty of water and batteries and all that kind of stuff, for whatever might happen. And let's just pray that the power don't go out.
Yes.
That's the main thing, because there's a lot of people, if the power goes out, they got no way to stay warm.
That's true, and I'm always concerned about the elderly folks who don't pay as much attention to this as we do. Maybe they just don't realize how serious it could be. Just make sure they got plenty of warm clothing, blankets or something, a good hot food they can eat just in case.
That's right, and if your power goes out, you ain't going to have no hot food.
That's exactly right.
You'll have to eat cereal and sandwiches and such as that, but just so you get some nourishment. But the main thing is just staying warm.
Eat a little pork and beans out of a can. I used to do that.
Yeah, there you go, and some Vienna sausages and
little sardines.
Oh no, you can have the sardines. Oh no, I can't handle it.
Used to go fishing with my dad. We'd take a can of sardines and soda crackers, sometimes some Vienna sausage, but he loves sardines, and so do I.
Yeah, I like Vienna sausages, and I like pork and beans. So we mix them together, and you'll have beanie weenies.
Just don't tell me what they put in those Vienna sausages. Just don't tell me the ingredients, and I'll be okay.
Well, there ain't no telling what's in them sardines that still got the heads on them. Oh, me. But anyway, I've got 18 degrees on the front porch this morning. Birthdays today. I've got Sam Fleming, Grace Camp, Brendan Crawford. I don't have anything on around here, so we hope all these people's having a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcement, Union Mills Learning Center on Hudlow Road in Union Mills on December the 7th at 7 p.m., a night of gospel, bluegrass, and Christmas music with Indebted and the Parton family. Meal beginning at 6 p.m. and the cost is $8. Choice of ham or turkey, dressing, gravy, green beans, potatoes, roll, dessert, and drink. And music begins at 7 p.m. Free admission, but they do have a tip jar available for the band. And then Merry Christmas. Tonight's the night. Join us for the annual Union Mills Christmas Party Thursday, December the 6th, 6 p.m. Union Mills Community House on Hudlow Road in Union Mills. Bring a covered dish, bring a small gift for door prize, and a gift of fruit, cookies, or candy for the cheer box for our shut-ins and friends in nursing homes. We'll be packing 25 bags. They'll have a drawing after the meal for the raffle tickets for the money, Christmas money giveaway, and first prize is $100, second prize is $75, and third prize is $50. So, got your tickets, be there, and you might win some money. And other than that, I don't have nothing.
Does your church give those fruit bags at Christmas time?
I don't know. I wasn't at this church I'm going to last year at Christmas, but every church I've ever been to has. So I don't know.
Pack it with some fruit and some candy and
nuts and pack of chewing gum.
I used to love those. Our church doesn't do it either. We're too big to do something like that, but I loved it, and I miss my.
What do you mean too big?
Well, there's a whole lot of members. It take a lot of bags to get fruit bags.
You got a lot of members. That means you got a lot of money.
Well, I don't know about that part. So. It is fun to give those out.
It is, yeah. I don't remember what. I grew up in Spencer Baptist Church, and I don't remember if they gave treat bags or not. Yeah. I just don't remember, but every church I've ever been to since then, has. So
I think more rural churches do it than the city churches do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but.
Well, it's a good tradition, and everybody looks forward to it. So, so that's a good thing.
So I'll just go out and buy my own bag.
Well, you go up to Tony's, and he'll pick you right up with a treat bag. He does good treat bags.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
That was a free advertisement.
I'll send him a bill.
You'll have to send it to me because he didn't do it.
Well, listen, you ready for the snow?
Well, I'm trying to get ready. I'm got some water caught up, and I've got plenty of wood, and I've got a propane grill on the front porch. I can heat it. Tomorrow. I'm gonna get up. I'm thinking about making a pot of homemade vegetable soup.
I was going to ask you if you're going to make any soup for it, but
yeah. I think I'll do that. Get up in the morning and put a pot of homemade vegetable soup on, and bake a cake of cornbread. I had cornbread last night with kraut and Wendy's and fried potatoes.
That sounds good too.
Well, it was. Yeah. It's all gone.
Well, listen, you have a wonderful day up there, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow.
You have a good one. Catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda. Bye-bye. 7:43.
Save a Lot Grocery, White Oak Plaza, Spindale has hundreds of super low prices on most of your favorite name brand items. They have 500 plus prices lowered across the entire store. Stock up on fresh meats, produce, frozen foods, snack foods, and your favorite beverages and pastries. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9, Sunday, 10 to 8. Save a Lot Grocery, White Oak Plaza, Spindale.
We have no sports on our schedule for this evening, so we'll be lining you up with some great oldies music from down memory lane. That's our new format, classic oldies from the late 50s, 60s, and 70s. And many of you have talked to us about how much you enjoy that music, and I'm glad to hear that. We do too. And, of course, we're interspersing a little Christmas music along the way right now, but and then maybe next week we'll add more Christmas music as the season gets here a little closer and closer. Don't want to overload you with Christmas music, but we do want to make sure you're in the spirit of Christmas as we approach December 25th, which is about 2.5 weeks away. Right now we're going over to Ellenboro. Mr. Luther Gillingan's on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a nice day down here.
It's a nice day out here, too.
I understand it's not going to stay that way. They're going to get rather nasty.
That's what they keep telling me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too good.
Anything
you get 15 inches of snow, it's not good traveling weather.
Yeah. Anything you can do to stop it?
No, but I'm going to just let it come and build snowman.
There you go. Make some ice cream.
It sounds like where to me. Long as the heat stays on.
Yeah.
Now I crank up generators. Stay warm. But it's quiet there this morning. Nothing going. They could have everything going on all day yesterday. Nothing out there. Fire department had their call. Nothing this morning going on. We want to remind everybody the big sale coming up. Big sale bazaar coming up. Well, I heard Women's Club Edinburgh. That'll be next Saturday, December 15th, from 8 to 12 o'clock. They're going to be having cakes and pies and cookies and Christmas goodies and all other sort of seasonal items, all kind of bizarre stuff there. That's 15th this month from 8 o'clock to 12. And nothing else going on. I won't wish happy birthday today. See, Casey Wilson is having one, and Clay Armstrong is having one, and Kevin Walker is having a birthday today. So hope these people have a great day and enjoy their day. Kim, you have a great day up there. Try to stay warm. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. I'll see you then. So long.
All right, take care.
Time for birthdays and anniversaries for the 6th day of December the 6th. If you're celebrating a birthday, please call us now, and we'll put you in the drawing for some delicious Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Birthdays and anniversaries. We'll have that drawing here in a few moments. So 287-3356 is the phone number. Hey, I'm glad Santa Claus is not coming to Henson Building Material this weekend. He might get snowed in, but that wouldn't be a bad idea either. But anyway, Santa Claus is coming to Henson next week on the 15th, and he's bringing Mrs. Claus with him. Can you believe that? So the boys and girls will be glad to see Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and they'll be taking photos if you want, taking orders, taking photos, and they'll have a 5x7 full available the following week. Why don't you come by Henson's and see Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus? In the meantime, come this week early before the snow comes and go ahead and pick your Christmas gift out. Guys, tell your wife or your significant other kind of what you like to have. They got the Rocky boots, especially marked right now, the Georgia boots, especially marked down right now. At Henson, nobody else has got them like this. They got gun cases and tool kits galore, patio heaters, but that'd be nice to have if power goes off, that patio heater. A lot of things like that you'd be pleased to get for Christmas. Henson Building Material, more than just a lumber yard. Santa Claus thinks so, and he's coming to town next week, the 15th. At McCurry Deck Motors, you can browse a selection of vehicles that includes all of the top models in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC lineups. The McCurry Deck Motors lineup of vehicles checks all the boxes, ensuring that they will have the perfect vehicle for any car shopper that visits their lot. Come visit and see what's in store for you and your family with the McCurry Deck quality reputation of fair deals and customer service. Try the Chevy. Find new roads with Chevy. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. I can't sing it this morning. Happy birthday. Anyway, happy birthday greetings go out to Avery Weist, 5-year-old. Lives at Ruth. I think she's 5 years old. Billy Callahan is 37 up in Gilkey. Connie King is over in Bostic. Jason Cole, he's the principal at Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy. His brother was born 2 years apart, so that'd be Philip Cole. He's a probation officer. So Philip and Jason both celebrating today. They're brothers, 2 years apart on the date birth, but they are on the same day, I guess, huh? And let's see who else we got on the birthday list. I believe we got Sam Fleming, Grace Camp, and Brandon Crawford. So happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. We'll have a drawing here in just a moment. one more. Grace Camp over in Rutherfordton is 11th grade student at RS High School. Grace Camp, want to wish Grace a happy birthday.
A friendly waitress who was known for giving exceptional service couldn't get a smile out of a particular customer no matter how hard she tried. The woman was sarcastic, grumpy, and argumentative all through lunch. She had no legitimate complaints. The food was delicious, and the service couldn't have been better. While the lady was paying her bill, the waitress pleasantly said, "Have a nice day." The disgruntled customer snapped back, "I'm sorry, but I've made other plans." How sad to view life so pessimistically. With that type of an attitude, we create an atmosphere where it is nearly impossible for things to go right. And if they did go right, we would probably still see them from a negative perspective. It's hard to imagine anyone wanting to sabotage their life. But a pessimistic, negative, defensive attitude does just that. It colors our world a dismal, dark, and dreary gray. It keeps our focus on life's storm clouds and prevents us from seeing the rainbow of God's magnificent colors. Helen Keller, who was blind most of her life, said, "Keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see the shadow." Scott Hamilton, the world-renowned figure skating champion who had just finished a battle with cancer, said, "The only disability in life is a bad attitude." This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are sold in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And a big congratulations going out to Avery Wiest. She's 5 years old, lives in Ruth, and she's won the donuts this morning from Granny B's Bakery. Thank you for that, Granny B's, for your generosity in giving these donuts every day to our birthday cake winners. And we want to thank you for that. And Avery, congratulations to you. Stop by over here. We'll have a certificate for you to take over to Granny B's. Now, coming up next hour, we have another look at that threatening weather forecast for this area, and also Dr. Bob's scheduled to be in this morning at 8:30, taking your questions about your aches and pains and what to do about it from a natural standpoint. Dr. Bob's grocery store medicine and healthy life anecdotes coming up this morning at 8:30.
Let
see a winter storm this weekend. The mountains and western Piedmont are expecting several inches of snow. Mostly rain should fall in the eastern part of the state, a mix in between. But National Weather Service meteorologist Kathleen Carroll is in Raleigh, and she says, wow, some of it's up in the air.
We're fairly confident that we're going to see some wintry precipitation, more confident as you go farther to the north and west, so along and north of the US 1 corridor. How much and what type of precipitation and the exact timing is still what we're struggling with as far as certainty goes.
Meteorologist Megan Glaros from WBBM TV is also tracking the storm nationally.
Possibility of strong to severe storms across Texas and Louisiana. We're looking at heavy rain from the Four Corners all the way on off to Raleigh, and we're probably looking at some ice in the mix.
The mountains and western Piedmont are expecting several inches of snow. Mostly rain should fall in the eastern part of the state, a mix in between. Scott Killow, maintenance engineer with the North Carolina Department of Transportation in Buncombe County, tells WLOS News.
The freezing rain we had last week, a couple weeks ago, and our dry runs we performed back in October really gave us a head start on what we have here.
After an emotional day in Washington, the late President George H.W. Bush is back at home to stay in Texas for the final round of farewells before he's laid to rest there. Brianna Goladriga is outside St. Martin's Episcopal Church. She was there for yesterday's service.
Mr. Bush was honored at the Washington National Cathedral in readings.
And the glory of the Lord has risen upon you.
And song. And touching eulogies.
A North Carolina pastor hospitalized by a fire at his home in Gaston County has now died. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Financial markets took a bit of a hit in early trading this morning, with Dow futures off more than 400 points before the opening bell. CBS News business analyst Joe Schlesinger says the drop comes ahead of November jobs report and a few other market-moving events.
On December 11th, the British House of Commons will deliver its verdict on Brexit. And then the last big thing before the holidays, December 19th, the Fed is expected to announce its final rate hike of the year, 0.25%. I know all of these events are potentially market moving. I think the best advice that I can give you is have your eggnog handy.
A voter photo identification bill that's won state house approval has been altered to try to improve absentee ballot security in North Carolina in light of fraud allegations in a congressional district, the 9th. The House version of the legislation approved Wednesday details how a new constitutional amendment mandating photo ID to vote in person is carried out starting in mid-2019. A North Carolina court has struck down more legislation Republicans approved for their lame duck governor's signature to erode the powers of an incoming Democrat. A Wake County judge has ruled the General Assembly unconstitutionally allowed outgoing GOP Governor Pat McCrory, not Roy Cooper, to pick the leadership of the Industrial Commission. A movie star speaks out about being black in Hollywood.
Being a black woman in Hollywood, Viola Davis says it's not that different from standing in for Linda Blair in The Exorcist.
The demons aren't gargoyles. They're not men with pointy noses and ears. They're other people's desires for your life. People who don't see you, people who stereotype you.
Davis accepting a leadership award from The Hollywood Reporter.
You have to water yourself down in order to meet the standards of the community that is in charge, which is not mine.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get the first weather forecast every morning at 6:05 here on WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM, Rutherfordton.
I'm Sherry Preston. By the thousands, they lined up in Houston overnight for a chance to pay their respects to former President George H.W. Bush. Nearly 12,000 filing past his casket at St. Martin's Episcopal Church, including this man.
He was a great father. He was an awesome husband.
ABC's Jim Ryan says after this morning's funeral, a special train will carry the president's body.
In 2005, at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library, a special railroad locomotive was created as part of a transportation exhibit. It was painted white over blue with a gold stripe down the sides.
The colors that you see on this locomotive are technically correct with respect to the Air Force One aircraft.
Michael Iden is with Union Pacific, the owner of the engine that will carry the remains of former President George H.W. Bush to their final resting place.
Stock futures pointing way down this morning. ABC News chief business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis says it may be because of the arrest in Canada of the CEO of Huawei.
This is one of the largest smartphone companies in the world, and the CFO and daughter of Huawei's founder was arrested while changing flights in Canada. She's set to be extradited to the United States, where she'll face unspecified charges in New York.
A desperate search right now off the coast of Japan for 5 Marines missing after something went wrong with a pair of Marine Corps jets. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
This morning, rescuers battling high winds and rough seas looking for the missing Marines. The accident occurred in the middle of the night, high above the water, some 200 miles off the coast of Japan. The F-18 fighter jet attempting to get fuel from the massive KC-130, but something went terribly wrong.
2 Marines have been found. 2 adults are dead after a crash between a big rig and a school bus carrying high school basketball team in Illinois. All of the kids, it was a girls' team, are okay. The tractor trailer was on the wrong side of the highway. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
It's happening to you every night. One snores and the other can't sleep. But now, there is a quick and easy-to-use solution, a natural solution. Snore Stop, the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S.
Thank you, Snore Stop. You saved my marriage.
It's time to try Snore Stop and make every night a better night for both of you. Spray or tablets are available today at Rite Aid and CVS or online at snorestop.com.
Some of the biggest names in tech will be at the White House today.
The White House set to host a roundtable with executives from some of the world's top tech companies, including Google, Microsoft, Oracle, and Qualcomm. The roundtable comes as President Trump's trade war with China has affected many tech companies. Google CEO Sundar Pichai is expected to attend, despite President Trump's criticism of the company over allegations that its search engine is suppressing conservative voices. Pichai will be back in Washington to testify before a House committee in which he'll likely be asked about that on December 11th. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Whole lot of excitement over a possible new test for cancer. ABC Steve Osunsami says researchers in Australia have come up with they say is a very quick way to test for it.
The scientists found a unique DNA pattern common to all cancers that's released into the blood, and they've discovered that it reacts to, of all things, gold. The test takes 10 minutes and is relatively inexpensive.
Right now, the researchers say the test is about 90% accurate. There's a new recall of infant ibuprofen sold under store label brands at places like Walmart and CVS. Officials say it's mislabeled, contains a higher concentration of the drug than is on the label. MoviePass, trying it again. The subscription service that lost millions by letting people go to unlimited movies for $10 a month is now offering new plans. Prices will vary depending on where customers live, ranging up to $25 a month. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherfordton, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
Good morning. We are almost to Friday, and today's forecast is looking chilly once again, with high temperatures only climbing into the mid to upper 40s this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, chilly once again, with low temperatures likely falling just below the freezing mark under partly cloudy skies. Your Friday forecast is looking bright and sunny, but high temperatures only climb into the upper 40s to mid 50s, with the chance of a wintry mix moving in late in the weekend. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Kat, thank you very much. Good morning again, everybody. It is 8:06 right now, and it's a Thursday morning. We're looking at the weather pattern. We got some tricky stuff coming up. Let me see if I've got a couple of sources here. Let me see if I can pull them. Weekend storm system will start as rain Saturday before changing to all snow in the mountains first, with a snow sleet chance working south into at least the northern upstate. This is coming out of WSPA. Said we'll continue with a chance for snow and wintry mix in the mountains, foothills Sunday, with the upstate in a transition zone between mostly rain in the south and wintry mix potential in the north. Still a lot of uncertainty yet as to the amounts and how much snow falls versus sleet, freezing rain, or rain. So we'll continue to update as the week goes on. Even so, parts of western North Carolina stand a good chance for heavy snow. Now, we were issued a winter weather possibility for Rutherford and surrounding areas later on this morning from the National Weather Service. Got all of the southeast, all of Georgia, just about every possible area you can think of is covered on this. Winter weather possible across the western Carolinas and northeast of Georgia this weekend. Confidence is increasing that a winter storm will develop this weekend across the region as low pressure tracks across the deep south, and that's where we usually get ours from the south, and moves off the southeast coast on Sunday. The storm has the potential to produce a significant amount of snow across parts of western North Carolina, the northern upstate of South Carolina, and the mountains of northeast Georgia. Precipitation could begin as early as daybreak Saturday over southwest North Carolina and northeast Georgia, spreading northeast through the day, and then conditions may deteriorate from southwest to northeast during Saturday afternoon and evening across the area north of the Interstate 85. Now, the precipitation is most likely to fall as snow across most of the mountains, with a heavy accumulation possibly Saturday night and Sunday. Snow amounts are still uncertain, but amounts in excess of 6 inches are possible across the mountain foothills and the northwest Piedmont of North Carolina. Some sleet and freezing rain could mix in across the Little Tennessee River Valley and across the I-85 corridor. The potential also exists for a corridor of significant accumulation across the areas such as across the south of Interstate 85 Saturday morning and Sunday morning. The wintry precipitation may persist across parts of the region through Monday. So it looks like it's pretty serious. Nothing's definite, of course, in the weather. It can change any time. It could blow the other direction, but right now it looks pretty serious. So just be prepared for it. Go ahead and make your preparation for it just in case. Better to be safe than sorry. So if you need propane in your tank, fill that up. If you need groceries, go buy those, and kerosene for your whatever you have, batteries for your flashlights, and the routine usual things. And make sure you have plenty of gas in your car. Plenty of bread to make sandwiches, and plenty of peanut butter, stuff like that. Milk, plenty of milk to make snow cream. You know the drill, so just be prepared for it. Go ahead and do it now, and that way you won't get caught in the rush on Friday evening. So it looks pretty serious, although none of them are saying, except on Sunday, is the most percentage of any of them. Sunday, one forecast One forecast says a chance of precipitation 90%, and that is the snowfall amount. And then on Sunday night, 70%, and that is a mixture of rain and snow. So it looks like it's going to start out with rain, turn to snow. And then Sunday looks like we're going to be socked in with a good blanket of snow for the day, and then it starts turning back into sleet and freezing rain. Of course, I'm sure there will be a lot of cancellations as that develops. Don't know yet. It's too early to do that. Hopefully downtown Forest City will get through Saturday night with their activities. They got rained out last week, so it would be great if they could get their carriage rides in this week and the other activities planned for downtown, but we'll have to play it as it goes. We're at the mercy of the weather, right? But right now we are at 24 degrees, and warm enough out there? No, not warm enough. Cool enough to have your jacket on, I'd think. But good old Todd, he went out just a moment ago, be back in, went out in a short-sleeve shirt. Good old Todd, tough guy. He didn't like cold weather, but little old Jim's got to have a shirt and vest and a jacket on. 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, we'll have that call around, or that report for here. Watch my tongue this morning, can't do a thing with it. The news from here to there. We have the sheriff's report with Sheriff Francis coming up. Dr. Bob's in at 8:30 with his program, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdotes. And let's do this, and I'll fix this wagging tongue.
A gift is so much more than what's hidden beneath its shiny wrapping. It's the excitement and anticipation you feel right before you open it. It's the frenzy of thoughts that rush through your mind of what it could be, and it's the thrill of finally knowing the unknown. A gift holds limitless potential. It lets us dream a little. Capture their hearts and their imaginations with a gift that's full of possibility. Holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery with more than $40 million in total prizes. These gifts are full of the wonder of what if. And there's a holiday scratch-off for everyone on your list, like Holiday Cash, the first see-through scratch-off ticket. It's clearly a good choice. Or maybe Merry and Bright with a top prize of $1 million. Now that's a lot to dream about. Or Happy Holiday gift tag-styled scratch-offs. There's no better present topper. This holiday season, give the gift of a dream. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.22 to 4.76. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You and your friends can enjoy the fun of playing bingo every Tuesday and Thursday with friends at the American Legion Post 74. Doors open at 6 o'clock, and you can enjoy the best game in town. First Thursday night every month is Big Night. American Legion Post 74 puts on great games, and you should bring your friends and get in on the fun. Food is always available, so make it a night and support the American Legion Post 74. And I'll tell you, if you just drop our name, WCAB, you get a 10% off your bingo package. Located 2501 US 6474 Highway at Green Hill. Also, keep this in mind. You can rent their log cabin or auditorium for meetings, parties, family reunions, receptions, and more. Contact American Legion 74 at att.net or leave a message when you call 828-395-2223. Let's check some stories from here and there this morning. As I glance at the Daily Courier, I see they're reporting that the former head of Trinity Christian School, who embezzled $238,000 in school funds, is going to prison. Tiffany Walker, 43, appeared before Superior Court Judge Tommy Davis Wednesday in the Rutherford County Courthouse after pleading guilty in October to 69 counts of embezzlement and 68 counts of obtaining property by false pretenses. She received 5 consecutive sentences of 13 to 25 months, the first of which will be actively served in incarceration. The 4 remaining sentences will be suspended, and Walker will be put on probation for 5 years beginning on the day she is released. Walker is also ordered to pay full restitution, with $88,000 going to Trinity and $150,000 going to the school's insurance carrier. She has already paid $36,000 of that amount, $11,000 more than she was expected to pay for this time. She'll be required to make another payment of $30,000 in January. Well, they're also reporting about the vigil that was held for philanthropist McNair on the lawn of the Board of Education building there in Forest City. Despite the cold temperature Tuesday night, approximately 100 people gathered on the lawn of the Cool Springs building in downtown to remember the life and legacy of late Robert C. McNair. Candlelight vigil there, and words of accolade to a man who's very deserving of this honor, who passed away just the other day. Today, of course, is the day that Patrick McHenry will be in his assistant will be in town in Forest City, Rutherfordton at 8:30 this morning to 11:30 at the Rutherfordton Town Hall. Roger Kump, McHenry's regional director for Rutherford County, will be available to meet with you who have issues with federal agencies, including Social Security, Veterans Affairs, and Immigration. You can see him this morning at the Rutherfordton Town Hall from 8:30 to 11:30. A Marion man was arrested and charged after surveillance footage caught him doing something he should not have been doing. He was trying to pass off a fake $100 bill. Deputy Robert Watson of the McDowell County Sheriff's Office charged Brian Kevin Lowry Sr., 49, old enough to know better, with counterfeiting and obtaining property by false pretense. The employee of Dollar General on NC 126 in Nebo reported that someone passed a fake $100 bill and received 5 $20 bills in return Monday, October 22nd. On Tuesday, the suspect returned to the store and deputies were notified, and he was arrested. Well, UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley student, Christian student senator faces major backlash for defending biblical view on gender. The politically correct police are still out there. And Isabel Chow says, "I'm not planning to resign because if I do, there will be no one else to represent the voices that are ignored and misunderstood on campus." In what many are viewing as a chilling attack on freedom of religion and speech, students at the University of California, Berkeley are calling for the resignation of a student senator after she opted to abstain from a pro-transgender vote. The backlash against Berkeley Junior Isabella Chow began October 31st when the Queer Alliance Resource Center called on the student Senate to pass a measure condemning the Trump administration for what critics view as the bid to define transgenderism out of existence. Specifically, the administration is considering a legal definition of gender that would require one's declared sex match what's on his or her birth certificate. Well, Chow, who is a Christian, chose to abstain from voting, citing her faith, and in a 5-paragraph statement to her Senate colleagues explaining her decision, she noted that while discrimination is never, ever okay, voting for such a measure would compromise her deeply held Christian views. As a Christian, she said, "I personally do believe that certain acts and lifestyles conflict with what is good, right, and true. I believe that God created man and female at the beginning of time and designed sex for marriage between one man and one woman." Well, despite her politely worded letter, Chow found herself facing immediate backlash with her own party, Student Action, as well as Cal TV, and her publication, constituents severing ties with her. So you can't speak out anymore, it seems like, as a Christian. You gotta say what they want you to say in order so you can get stand with them. So I guess we just will have to be outed, I guess. We have to be criticized, as some of us are. But that's okay. We got tough skins. We can handle it. Well, more and more sit less and get kids active as young as age 3. Move more, it says. Move more. Sit less and get kids active as young as 3 years old. Say new federal guidelines that stress that any amount of any type of exercise helps health. The advice is the first update since the government's physical activity guidelines came out a decade ago. And since then, the list of benefits of exercise has grown, and there's more evidence to back things that were of unknown value before, such as short, high-intense workouts and taking the stairs instead of an elevator. Doing something is better than doing nothing, and doing more is better than doing something, said Dr. Donald Lloyd Jones, a preventive medicine expert at Northwestern University in Chicago. Only 20% of Americans get enough exercise now, and the childhood obesity problem has prompted the push to aim younger to prevent poor health later in life. So there is new exercise. Move more, sit less, and start younger. Pretty good idea, I guess, huh? 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Well, that Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Chris Francis coming up here in just a moment.
It's a 5-star holiday this year at Bark Mobile. A you're the best dad in the whole world ever kind of holiday, where you can get 5 free smartphones and super excited reviews from your whole family without spending a single extra dollar. You can even get them 5 lines of unlimited data for only $125 a month. Visit our Spindale or Forest City stores for a 5-star holiday. Bark Mobile. Mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
The flu season will soon be upon us, and Smith Drugs of Forest City is ready to provide these immunizations at the drugstore at your convenience. We will bill your insurance, and one of our pharmacists can administer the vaccine to you Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Remember that a flu immunization is the best way to prevent getting the flu, in addition to washing hands, covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze, and staying home when you are sick. Prepare yourself and protect those around you with a flu immunization this year. Come see us at Smith Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street.
Sheriff Chris Francis was on with us earlier this morning. We recorded the conversation for playback at this time, and here now is Sheriff Chris.
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rusk County Sheriff's Office responded to 129 calls for service. There have been 15 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 184. Among those arrested, Kinley Jane Connor, a 24-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with possession of stolen motor vehicle, received a $5,000 unsecured bond. Leslie Iridan Santiago Cruz, 17-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with possession of marijuana, received a $500 secured bond. Shelby Danielle McKinney, 24-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with assault and battery and received a $500 secured bond. Dreama Knight Falou, 40-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with interfering with the utility and received a $1,000 unsecured bond. Leslie Claudette Scruggs, 43-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $2,000 secured bond. Kenneth Robert Hughes, 42-year-old male of Spindale, was charged with failure to appear, received a $500 secured bond. Keely Paige Hamby, 50-year-old female of Union Mills, was charged with 5 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,500 secured bond. Ronald Adam Scoggins, 38-year-old male, was charged with trespass and received a $500 secured bond. Ronnie Dale Pearson, 44-year-old male of Tryon, was charged with fugitive warrant out of South Carolina and is being held on $50,000 secured bond. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering larceny on Mays Road in Forest City, where a Philips 65-inch TV valued at $800 was taken, as well as an Amazon Fire Stick valued at $45. We have a larceny of medication, Walker Drive in Forest City. Prescription medications were taken in this incident. We have a breaking and entering larceny on Henson Road in Forest City, where a 55-inch Element TV valued at $250 was taken, a silver Dell laptop, as well as 7 $100 bills and 2 pair of Oakley sunglasses valued at $150 each. We also had a misdemeanor larceny on Arley Drive in Roaston, where several Amazon packages were stolen from the mailbox over a period of time. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
The best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street. Say hello to friends.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Freshman R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson both recorded double-doubles in number 3 Duke's third straight win, an 84-54 rout of Hartford last night at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Barrett finished with 27 points and a season-best 15 rebounds, while Williamson added 18 and 12 rebounds. Trey Jones and Javen Delorier also chipped in 10 points apiece.
I thought they played harder than we did for about 22 minutes, and we played either as hard or a little bit harder. We really played well the last 16, 17 minutes of the game, obviously, or else the game would have been a close game. And it wasn't at the end because we played so hard.
Number 14, North Carolina, also in action last night. They beat UNC Wilmington 97-69. Cam Johnson had 21 points in Heel's first game since their loss last week at number 5 Michigan.
First half, we turned it over way too much. Second half, about the only thing that's disappointed in is going to the free throw line. If you're going to play basketball, you're supposed to make free throws and keep the other team off the free throw line. But they shoot 35%, we shoot 49.3 because we took 4 terrible shots in the last 30 seconds and won biscuits. Can we ask Bojangles if they'd do that?
We can work on that.
All right, let's see if we can get biscuits for everybody if we play defense 1 possession a game.
NC State also in play. Freshman Jericho Hallams had a season-high 16 points. Blake Harris scored a career-high 15. And Torrin Dorn added a dozen of his own, and NC State's whooping of Western Carolina 167. However, it was Devin Daniels' 21 points that led the Wolfpack in their only scheduled game of the season at Reynolds Coliseum. They played there because during a pregame ceremony, the university formally named the arena after Jim Valvano. The Hurricanes offense continued to stall out on their West Coast road trip, and stalling out actually a compliment. The Canes engine really hasn't turned over at all. I think they left it at the baggage claim. 2 nights after being shut out in L.A., the Hurricanes last night schooled by San Jose 5-1. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Quarterbacks Kyler Murray of Oklahoma, Tua Tagovailoa of Alabama, and Dwayne Haskins Jr. of Ohio State are the finalists for the Associated Press College Football Player of the Year. The winner will be announced later today. The finalists are the same as those for the Heisman Trophy, which will be presented on Saturday. NCAA President Mark Emmert says new rules that allow the organization to use information from legal proceedings will help its investigation of the FBI's college basketball corruption case. He also says the inquiry is unlikely to be completed before the next men's tournament begins in March. A federal trial in October resulted in the conviction of 3 men for wire fraud and testimony that implicated several schools, including NC State. Cam Newton insists he'll be ready to play this week against Cleveland despite lingering soreness in his throwing shoulder. Ron Rivera, though, yesterday, not as certain. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Good morning. We are almost to Friday, and today's forecast is looking chilly once again, with high temperatures only climbing into the mid to upper 40s this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, chilly once again, with low temperatures likely falling just below the freezing mark under partly cloudy skies. Your Friday forecast is looking bright and sunny, but high temperatures only climb into the upper 40s to mid 50s, with the chance of a wintry mix moving in late in the weekend. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
The following program, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdotes, is paid for by Dr. Bob Crummy. The opinions expressed on this program by Dr. Crummy are not necessarily those of the owner and staff of WCAB. You are invited to call your questions in live now to Dr. Bob at 287-3356. And now live in the studio, here is Dr. Bob Crummy. Dr. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. It's great to be with you again in the beautiful Blue Room at WCAB.
How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day, and I feel wonderful. Every day is filled with opportunities. Kind of cold out there, though.
Yeah.
I tell you what gets you is that wind blowing. I mean, the cold's okay, but all of a sudden when the wind starts up, oh.
Well, if your pants are leg, you notice, don't you?
Well, I got those long pants, it doesn't bother me.
Remind folks they can call your questions into Dr. Bob this morning at 287-3356. And if you have a question about your condition or your health or what your aches and pains are, what he recommends, we'll put it to him, and he'll give you a chance to answer those questions. Had a couple already this morning, and one just now been handed back to you to us, Dr. Bob, if you're ready to go.
I'm ready, but let me mention one thing, and this is if you're listening to this on the radio, it'll be worthwhile for you to get a pencil and paper now so you can write down a couple of phone numbers that I may give you that might be very, very helpful to you. And got a lot of useful information. Sometimes I forget to share it, but if I share it and you've got your pen, you can put the numbers down. And the interesting thing is you will really be pleased with the numbers you call and what they tell you.
Good. All right, first question this morning. Can you take too much fish oil or too many supplements?
I think you can, but you're not going to have any horrible effect from them. But you can take enough that you might get a little nauseated, or let's say, or something like that. And most of the time, if that happens, if you'll just, drink a half a cup of milk or eat a couple of crackers or peanut butter cracker, that kind of thing. I don't know why peanut butter crackers seem to help me when I, get any kind of uneasy feeling. I've gotten now so that I take most of my vitamins and the things I take in the morning, and when I do, I make sure I have an empty stomach. That's the first thing I do. And, you can tell it 5 minutes after you take it, you'll start feeling a little perkier because you got an empty stomach and it absorbs all those vitamins and minerals and so forth right away. And if your body's needing some particular mineral and you put it in with a multivitamin, it's going to absorb it right away and do something with it right away.
Next question. What is the difference, or is there a difference, in the pillows that we sleep on? Should I be concerned about what kind of pillow I sleep on?
I don't know. and I don't think so. I've got a couple of pillows. I like to kind of rest in almost a sitting position, I've got a TV in my room, and I can watch videos now, and I've got a lot of wonderful videos of particular movies, and I watch them and watch them again. I guess I've watched The Godfather at least a dozen times this last month, and the same thing with The Green Mile.
Good movie.
Oh boy, that is a fantastic movie. Yeah. And I wonder how some people can get so big and muscular. That guy in there,
guy,
Mr. Coffee.
It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So pillows.
But I think the most important thing is how you feel about it, and I know on one station I hear this advertisement all the time about a pillow that's for sale. But the interesting thing about it is I checked, and it seems to me like the price of the pillow is about $100. But then they'll give you one if you buy one. So you can get two for $100. But that seems pretty expensive to me. My wife always got the pillows, and, I was just happy with them. If I don't have a pillow, I'm going to take a blanket or something and roll it up, and have my head propped up a little bit.
I found, I'll give him a free plug, I found the pillows that Cozy Fleece, or Cozy Homes now I think he's called, the pillows that he sells, and he makes those, very, very comfortable.
Now, who is that?
Cozy Fleece. It used to be called Cozy Fleece. He's done calling the business Cozy Home. They've moved it to the basement of Graham Cash Company in Forest City, and he makes those pillows. And he sells blankets and bed clothing. He has those big sales about once a month. But he makes those pillows, and they're very comfortable.
Well, that's fantastic, though, and that's in Forest City.
And they're very reasonable.
Boy, I'd say really, get them from this guy then, yeah. And then so I'm going to change my answer after talking with you, saying, pillows make a difference. Get them from this guy at Forest City.
I do with my neck anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends if you ever have a whiplash in a lot.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is good posture is so important. And one thing I admire about chiropractors is that they recommend that. And they will, you see so many people who have kyphosis, just a humped over back, kind of like a big C, and they're bent over and looking at the ground as they walk. that's preventable just by, making sure you have good posture as you age.
Another question just been called in this morning. An elderly man has trouble with food coming back up while eating in the mornings. Any suggestions?
Yes. Number one, you got to look at how are you eating. Put smaller portions in your mouth and chew them more frequently. Now, I say numbers. There's nothing magic about the numbers. Like I say to people, I'll chew your food at least 40 times before you swallow it. Well, if you do that, you aid digestion. If you just, pop the food in your mouth and take 2 or 3 bites and swallow it, it's not going to be digested very well. And it's important to eat smaller amounts, put smaller amounts in your mouth, chew them at least until they're all just kind of like oatmeal, and then swallow it. Another thing, I'm glad I mentioned oatmeal, because oatmeal is one of the most overlooked medicinal foods in the world, or in America. And probably any kind of digestive problem you have, if you'll eat a small portion of oatmeal, let's say a cup of it twice a day, the chances are you will not have any problems with it, with your whatever your digestive problem was. But I would say, here's the most important thing: try the things we suggest, and if they don't work, let us know, because there's always something else you can do, something else it might be, and this sort of thing. I had a friend who had he was a retired nurse anesthetist, and this fella started having trouble swallowing and chewing and this sort of thing. Well, in his particular case, it happened to be cancer, and he went to some alternative medicine people, and they suggested that he try Essiac tea, and then they suggested Laetrile. Now, another word for Laetrile, and I've pretty much forgotten about this, is Laetrile is made from apricots. And there's a place in Pakistan, I think, where apricots is a form of wealth. Like how many apricot trees you have, you're a wealthy man if you've got 10 apricot trees, those sorts of things. But the people there don't have cancer. And one reason they don't is the apricots have something in them that kill the cancer cells, So we all have cancer cells, and our immune system destroys them. But now there are certain foods like apricot and I guess Essiac tea, which specifically will kill cancer cells, but do not kill normal human cells. And that's the thing that gets us in trouble with chemotherapy and radiation, is we're destroying healthy cells that we need as well as the cancer cells.
Interesting. That's the last question we've had called in this morning, but I know you always come with a lot of information.
Well, the interesting thing is I'm always getting good information in the mail, and I got some from a company out of Norcross, Georgia. Now, Norcross, Georgia, they have a couple of pretty famous alternative medicine doctors that put forth newsletters, and this particular company is called Advanced Bionutritionals, Advanced Bionutritionals. Now, they sent me this information, and it's interesting because what happens is they will start putting together certain herbs that cure certain things. And this one particular company, and this is their phone number. Their phone number is it's an 800 number, 1-800. The number is 791-3395. That's 791-3395. Now, they will send you, and let's see, I think you can also order on the computer now. You can do everything on the computer. But on the computer, it's you go online to yesnutronics.com. That's YES, and then NUTRIENTS.com. Now, they sent me about 10 pages, I guess. And the interesting thing is the prices seem to be reasonable, and they sent me the bulletin that they'll come up with. Like they come up with, and it looks like there are about 30 of these in here. I'm going to read some of them to you. Like one, and this is what got my attention most, is called Advanced Memory Formula. Well, since my wife's death 17 months ago, I've had trouble with my memory, especially recent memory, and some other problems too associated with it. But they had something called Advanced Memory Formula. Now, we had 12 different herbs or minerals or vitamins in it, and all of these were supposed to be helpful to your brain. Well, I'm not saying it cured my memory problems, but it sure did improve them. And so it's kind of like you can get of these 12 things, you can get a 6-month supply for about I guess $150. And now that may seem like a lot, but you're talking about $20 a month, just about, and or $25 a month. And when you're thinking about 12 different vitamins and minerals in it, it would cost you a heck of a lot of money if you bought them all independently. But they tell you the exact amount and what's in it and this sort of thing. And if you can find better deals, that's very interesting to do. I'm not going to, right now I just shared that advanced memory formula, but they'll have things like what's good for the prostate, and they'll have 10 or 12 different things that are good for the prostate. And one thing about it is saw palmetto is always in all of those 12. You might find 10 companies that do something like this. When one company will have 6 different herbs and minerals in for with the prostate problems, another one may have 12, but every one of them, I promise you, is going to have a little saw palmetto in it. And the one thing you can do, at least I've done from experience, because I've had prostate problems, is every now and then I'll take 2 prostate tablets a day, and when I do, it's absolutely great. It does the job. I urinate normally like other people. And there are other things too that I might mention.
Some more questions have been called in. The next one is, what causes the common cold?
A virus does. A virus causes a cold, but the main thing I think is probably almost everything starts in our mouth, and that's why people will say if you gargle with hydrogen peroxide twice a day, you don't get sick. And I found that to be true. Now, sometimes I forget to do it, or I run out of the hydrogen peroxide. I haven't paid attention. The bottle goes empty and so forth. And since you're not having any problems, you kind of forget about it, But if you gargle, you'll find that you'll have fewer colds, or you may have you shouldn't have any really, and especially if you're gargling now with hydrogen peroxide. But the nice thing you can do is, if you start feeling yourself get a sore throat, is gargle every 3 or 4 hours. And it's easy to do it quickly. Make it so it's easy for you. In the bathroom, I always keep a large bottle that has hydrogen peroxide and water in it, and that way it helps me to remember to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know, also, it seems to me like brushing your teeth with baking soda seems to be helpful, in terms of when I do that, I don't seem to get sick or get anything else. But now, there is a herb that's very famous for stopping colds, and that's echinacea. Echinacea is what they use, and they say, like during the cold season, I guess they can kind of consider that winter, or now is a cold season, let's say, they will suggest that you take echinacea maybe for 4 or 5 days, and then just stop taking it. But every now and then, just say, especially if you sort of feel like, well, I may be, it's the kind of weather that I don't like, take the echinacea then. And echinacea also comes with yellow root in it, but the yellow root is called golden seal. Yeah. And in the mountain folks, I've talked to a lot of people since I've been in Rutherford County, and I am really surprised at how many of them knew about Grandma's yellow root. And they've said, I never got sick as long as she got hold of me twice a year. And she would make you drink, about I don't know how much yellow root Grandma made you drink, but she made you drink it twice a year, and it kind of purged you. Now, I drank the yellow root like that, they told me, and what happens is when you drink enough of it, you start tasting like yellow root. Yellow root is sort of perfect sour, and so you have this, you close your mouth and you get a little saliva, and it's just like you've put yellow root in your mouth.
Another question, what is good for gout?
Well, gout. My gout has helped tremendously with celery, and it's so easy to get the celery. The one thing I learned about celery is once you get it, it lasts for a pretty good while, but once you get it, you need to rinse it off real good. If you rinse it off good, and you can put a drop of soap in there if you want to, but rinse it off good because it's been sprayed with something to increase its longevity. I think the stores just automatically do that. But you can take a stalk of celery, cut it into pieces about 4 to 6 inches long, and start eating them one at a time. And as you do, like you eat one just with water, and 10 minutes later you might eat another one and so forth. Your gout pain will disappear as you're doing that. Now, it may take 2 hours, it may take 4 hours, but if you do that, it's amazing how it works well. Also, I've read that cherries do that, but since I've had the success with celery all the time, when mine starts acting up, I get hold of the celery. But supposedly, canned cherries, cherry pie, fresh cherries, doesn't matter what kind, it does it too. It's interesting, the cherry growers I think are mainly in the state of Washington, and they kind of wanted to advertise because cherries are somehow medicinal or have medicinal things in them. But believe it or not, the DEA wouldn't let them, not DEA, but the FDA wouldn't let them do it.
Oh.
They said you can't advertise food cures things.
Oh, well. Next question. Are there any treatments for dystonia, and what is it? What is dystonia?
I'm not sure. Dystonia. They're going to have to call us back and tell us what dystonia is.
I'm not sure yet. We'll go to the next question then. What can be done for burning and itching feet?
Well, you can actually get, the best thing, of course, there's several things you can do for it, but the best thing is tea tree oil. Tea tree oil. Tea tree oil, you can get it at any health food store. In fact, you can probably get it at the grocery stores. It's so good. And it comes in bottles of just 2 ounces or 4 ounces, but you take the tea tree oil and you just put a little bit on your hand and then rub it good into your feet and toes, and whatever problem you have will go away very quickly. You'll become a believer in tea tree oil, because I have, and I always keep some at home.
My wife does too. She always has some tea tree oil close by.
Mm-hmm. She's a smart lady.
She is a smart lady.
You're a lucky fellow.
Indeed, I agree with you. That's the last question we've had other than the dystonia one. Maybe they'll call us back and let us know what that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me mention, since I had talked about advanced bionutritionals. Advanced Bionutritionals down in Norcross, Georgia. Their address is Post Office Box 8051, and the zip code is 30091. Now, okay, we found out what dystonia means. Involuntary muscle spasms. Well, involuntary means you don't have control over it, it just starts. So we're talking about tremors, dystonia, or let's say a certain grade of a tremor. I would say things like that are probably caused by nutritional something. In other words, I'm not taking in one of the nutrients that I need to be taken in. So I think the first thing to do would be just to get a multivitamin tablet. Now, what I've discovered about multivitamin tablets, and this is just my opinion, is the more things it has in it, the better it is. Now, sometimes I'll look at a few and they won't have but just a tiny bit of something in it, just to say they've got it in there. But generally speaking, I get the one that's the most inexpensive, and it's got the most things in it, and I make sure I take one a day. Every now and then I'll take 2 a day. On the other hand, sometimes I go for 3 or 4 days without taking any, And if you're really eating healthy stuff, like if you own a blueberry farm, and you're eating those blueberries, it is so healthy and so nutritional that you don't need to eat anything else. And the same is true for other foods like beets. That's true of beets. If you're eating beets, you don't need to take any multivitamins. Probably, what is it? What is it that the first George Bush didn't like and said,
broccoli.
Broccoli, oh yeah. Broccoli is just loaded with good stuff too. So if you're eating broccoli, chances are you don't need to take a vitamin. But when I say that, you're still better off to take the vitamins and this sort of thing. Unfortunately, when we buy anything in a can or in a box, most of the time the manufacturers of it have already put things in to increase the shelf life of it. And it's kind of like if you start growing some things yourself, you'll kind of sympathize with them a little bit, because once you take it out of the garden, it becomes whatever. Oh, I told you I had lost my cell phone, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, I bought another one, and the day after I bought it, somebody called me and they had my cell phone.
Oh my!
It had fallen out of my pocket in their car. So the new cell phone I had just rang, and they just told me I got one missed call. But I want to give out my new cell phone number also. The old cell phone number is still good. But the new cell phone number, which is the one I'm going to have with me most of the time, it's 828 number, and it's 305-5080. 305-5080. So that's my new number.
305-5080. Next question. What do you think about food dyes being in so many different things? Is that good or bad?
Well, it makes the food look attractive, and so we buy it, In other words, it looks riper and this sort of thing. I guess you could take green strawberries and paint them red or whatever, whatever they do. But that's not such a good idea. On the other hand, I don't know if any serious harm that just that comes. I'm sure that it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it doesn't keep me from buying something. But it kind of flavors things. When I say flavors, it kind of makes me a little reluctant to get it. Sometimes when you see meat that's real red, you think they must have painted that some way, or put some kind of dye in it. But I know that sometimes when you read things, when you read labels, it'll tell you what dye it has in there.
Sometimes it'll say no dyes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's better, it's better to eat organic, but most of us don't do that. But the one thing you can do is you can take certain foods, like any berries, we talked about that a few minutes ago. Any berries are just loaded with things. So is broccoli, so are beets, and there are other foods like that too, Oatmeal especially is a good food to eat every day. You eat oatmeal every day, and it's going to change you. It's going to increase your enjoyment of life a little bit.
Does it have to be cooked oatmeal, or can it be instant oatmeal?
It can be instant. It can be anything. Yeah. In fact, I've even taken oatmeal before, experimenting. I'll just put cold water in oatmeal, and you let it sit long enough, and it's just like the heated water that you put oatmeal in. Another good food is rice. Rice is the only food I know that has all. I think we have something like 15 essential amino acids, and it has all of the amino acids in it. And amino acids are building block for protein that we need. And I recently read some stuff about Parkinsonism is now curable with certain amino acids, and there's certain alternative medicine doctors who are working with that. I don't have the names right offhand, but
I guess the biggest problem we in our diets anymore are eating things that just has so much sugar in it.
Oh boy, yes, and almost everything you eat too, Jim, has corn syrup in it, which is supposed to be pretty addicting, and
fructose.
Fructose, yeah. And let's see, MS monosodium glutamate, MSG, is supposed to make everything taste better, and they put it in every food, I understand. And it's not that healthy for you. You know, we need to stop taking that in. There's another food that I'd read about, glyphosate, and that is something we should avoid. And maybe I'll talk about that next time. Let me spell that for folks. GLYPHOSATE. 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 Glyphosate is the main ingredient in an herbicide, Roundup. And Roundup, we have absolutely polluted the world with Roundup. And so all of us have glyphosate in it. And it's a pretty toxic thing. They say even babies born today have a little tiny bit of that in it. That's just how you cannot avoid it. It's in the air, it's in the water, it's in the soil. At least this little article I had read about said that. And I'm thinking that as time goes on, we're going to become a little stricter about enforcing some of these things. Stop putting unhealthy things into substances that people consume.
What can you say about fish mocks?
Oh, fish bots?
Fish mocks.
What are fish mocks?
That's you buy it at the feed and seed stores. Fish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen, that's great. That stuff is the same thing we take. We're talking about penicillin now and stuff like that. Yeah. Let's see. I was trying to think of some other older antibiotics, but penicillin is the main one. But listen, it works. In fact, I've got that's in my medicine cabinet. When I open it up, I always have some of those fish motts, penicillin. I don't know that it says penicillin. Oh, yeah, it does say penicillin. It says amoxicillin on it, yeah. And they're very inexpensive. And you can take them, you know. The nice thing about it is they knock out, like amoxicillin, penicillin is great. It knocks out whatever you've got, like a strep infection is what most of us get in our throats. And it'll knock that right out. But it also kills the normal bacteria flora. And so we have to recreate that, you know, which kind of is associated with digestion.
A lot of information out there.
Oh boy, yeah, and listen, and it's so accessible to us now on the computer. And if you don't have one at home, you don't have to buy one. You can go to the library. I was shocked to find out libraries have about 8 or 10 computers in them, and you can just sit there and plug it in, and they don't charge you for it. That's the great stuff.
World of information.
Pretty soon, I would say in the next 10 or 20 years, we're going to have libraries that stay open 24/7. And they'll probably give you a little card that you can just push and open the door for yourself and go in. And, you know, they have cameras and all kind of stuff, and the receptionist won't be there, and it doesn't matter.
It's always a pleasure to have you in on Thursdays, Dr. Bob. Time to come and go again.
It has been, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, that'll be the 13th of December. So we look forward to seeing you back on North Carolina News.
Difficult situation. The district said it's facing an annual shortfall of almost $1 million. To close the gap, they
100.9 FM and 590 AM.
The best of both worlds.
This is WCAB Rutherfordton.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills Most Sports Station, WCAB Rutherfordton. WCAB, 24 hours a day, we're family-friendly radio.
I listen to it every day.
It's what we do between the music that sets us apart. WCAB. A lot of stations can play great music, but it's what we do between the music that sets us apart. Serving the foothills of the Carolinas. We're family-friendly radio. WCAB.
Join us tomorrow morning for the early morning wake-up call right here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM. The best of both worlds right here on WCAB in Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. It is quiet and calm now at the Houston church where thousands paid their respects overnight to former President George H.W. Bush. This man, one of the nearly 12,000 who filed through St. Martin's Episcopal Church.
Like most everybody that's in line here, we are here to honor what a lot of us feel it was a very, very good and a great president that the United States had.
The funeral for the 41st president takes place later this morning. ABC's Amy Robach is in Houston. She says part of the ceremony for the former Navy pilot will be in the sky.
We are going to see something we've never seen before. 21 Navy fighter jets conducting a flyover in the missing man formation. The Navy was inspired by that traditional 21-gun salute we often hear at funerals.
Half an hour before the markets open, the futures are pointing toward a lower open, and arrest of a top executive may be weighing on traders' minds. ABC's Aaron Katursky explains.
The arrest of Meng Wanzhou, the daughter of the founder of Huawei, comes as the United States and China are trying to sort out their trade dispute. She was arrested in Canada at the request of the United States. We're told the case involves Huawei's alleged violation of U.S. sanctions on Iran. Huawei, China's largest technology company, said it had little information about the charges, but was unaware of any wrongdoing by the founder's daughter.
American workers more productive. The Commerce Department says productivity grew at an annual rate of 2.3% between July and September. Just in from payroll company ADP, U.S. businesses added a solid 179,000 jobs last month. 2 adults were killed after a violent collision in Illinois between a tractor-trailer and a school bus full of high school kids. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
According to authorities, the Normal West girls basketball team was heading back from a game when a semi-truck driving on the wrong side of the interstate slammed into them head-on. The impact is so powerful, the front end of the bus appears to be pushed back into the second row.
You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant